A new term has found its way into our vocabulary. The term senior moment. It describes those temporary lapses of memory associated with getting older. We usually end up laughing about these occasions, but a much more serious memory loss seems to be happening with even greater frequency. Alzheimer's disease and dementia. When either of these afflict a loved one, it can leave other family members feeling truly devastated. As the memory erodes, a person who's been so much a part of our lives begins to become a total stranger. Such a tragic loss of memory serves to remind us just how important memory is in our lives. In today's gospel, Jesus tells a story that involves memory, a story about a rich man and a poor man. The rich man, as the gospel tells us, wore the finest clothes, lived in a big palace, and had anything and everything he wanted to eat. His name was Dives. Lazarus, on the other hand, was a beggar who lay at the gate to the rich man's palace. And he longed for even the crumbs from the rich man's table, but he never received them. This could have been an entirely different story if Dives had only used his memory. And undoubtedly, he had passed by Lazarus every time he entered or left the front gate of his house. But that's precisely the point. He just passed by. He had everything he needed, so he simply blocked out the sight of Lazarus from his memory. Little did he realize that the last time he would encounter Lazarus would be in eternity. Here the roles were totally reversed. If only he had not used his memory so selectively while he still had the chance. Today, everyone associates the name Dives with greed and selfishness, and rightly so. But it could have been the exact opposite if Dives had only remembered Lazarus while he still had the opportunity to help him. Unfortunately, when his memory kicked in, it was too late, much too late. This is what Jesus wants to remind us about while we still have the chance that Dives let pass him by. But will we take advantage of it? However, we not only need to use memory at the right time, but also in the right way. Some of us here today are still clinging to a memory that we really should let go. Someone once offended us, and we're still hanging on to the hurt. Our anger continues to keep the memory of that hurt engraved in our minds. And of course, as long as we hang on to that memory, the wound will never heal. As was the case with Dives, this too is a tragic use of our memories. When Abraham Lincoln was elected president, he appointed to his cabinet a man who had bitterly opposed him during the campaign. An aide reminded Abe of this terrible thing, and he asked, "How can you appoint to your cabinet a man who has shown such hostility toward you?" And Abe answered, "I distinctly remember forgetting that." Maybe you and I need to remember that lesson. If Dives had remembered to be mindful of his blessings and forget about his grudges, it could have changed his whole life, including his eternal life. You and I have a chance to still do that. How are we using that precious God-given gift of memory